Hi guys! Once again, FC here again. As I stated on the previous video, I was going to talk about our protagonist, and here he is, Harry Indigo, aka Gadget. First, I want to explain a bit how the story came to be, to explain all the changes Harry went through and how the process of creating him was, and so on. When I first created the concept of the Hope Squad, I wanted to create my own hero group, and for that I analyzed what every hero group had. Basically, each group has someone who's strong and is the main attacker, a mythological being that has troubles adjusting and understanding the world around them, a hero related to the cosmos that is also really powerful, a speedster that is usually comic relief, and an archer who is an archer. And last but definitely not least, the genius of the group, that although is a regular person, uses their brain and technology to be on the same level as the others. Sometimes they can even be more threatening than the others. When talking about the Hope Squad, the genius of the group is definitely Harry. When I first created his concept though, he was exactly that. He was just a concept. I literally had no idea of his personality or backstory, especially consider that back in the day the Greenlight Lab was another completely separated thing, and all the names I came up with felt artificial. Then a few years later, I decided to bring the concept of the squad back. Why, you ask? Well, I was part of the Miraculous fandom and technically I'm still am in a way, but let's not delve into that because it's too complicated. And I ended up falling on a rabbit hole called Marbet. Basically, the concept of Marbet is shipping Marinette with any of the DC male characters and some female too. Obviously adapting the ages, depending on who she was shipped with, and so on. There's Demonette, Jasonette, Timar, Dickinette, Pusinette, and so many more that I don't have time to list. I was never interested in DC before, but seeing miraculous characters in the mix got me intrigued. So it didn't take long for me to start creating my own Marbet project. I want to do something that no one else has done before, and so I decided to create a next-gen project connected to Marbet. A Marbet fan child in this story would form his own superhero group to fight a new evil while facing his own inner demons and own problematic family dynamics. And since I had already had the Hope Squad concept in the back of my mind, I brought it back for this story. Since I was already using Harry both in an Owl House fic and an Alice in Wonderland project, I decided to make him the main character of the Hope Squad. I cancelled both the Owl House fic and the Alice project, and the Hope Squad thing started to be produced. And also, fun fact, it's from the Alice story that Harry's name came from. Since he was being used in an Alice in Wonderland story, I wanted to choose a name that sounded like a gender-swapped version of the name Alice would be. Have I chosen Alistair? Yes, they could have chosen Alistair, but I thought it was a name that Ever After High made up. Sorry to all Alistairs watching this, I didn't know your name was an actual thing. Sorry! Anyway, due to Harry sounding similar to Alice, for me at least, this was the name I chose. The name has nothing to do with Harry Potter. I hate J.K. Rowling's statements just as much as everyone else. Please don't connect me with that poisonous creature, okay? It was not my intention, please. Can you stop that? Alright, can we? Yes, so let's continue. Anyway, going back to the story, it kept going like this for a while. We had the 5 heroes, a Greenlight Lab as a villain, miraculous elements on the backgrounds, and so on. But then I noticed something. The miraculous elements were holding the story back to what it could be. I could be innovating and making a lot more of stuff without miracles on my way. So, I decided to start from scratch without miracles. I decided to focus more on the DC elements with some other franchises because I hate creating background characters. Now, on the present project, Harry is not exactly a morbid child, but just the son of Bruce Wayne that still needs to face a lot of things. But I think it's best to just put an end to this part and just explain his role as the protagonist of the story and finally start the Speedpaint. Harry, out of all characters on the squad, is one of the most complex. But one of the most interesting too, and he's also my personal favorite. He starts the story as a prodigy in the lab, but he's not just a regular prodigy. He's actually the only blue-ranking scientist prodigy on the Greenlight location he's at. It was hard for him to get where he is. He managed to do it with his hard work and creativity. He's not happy with his situation though. The thing is, Harry's a kind person. He doesn't want to see people suffering. And the lab puts the other prodigies and the other experiments through a lot of suffering. But he can't escape. One reason being the fact that he would need to contact with the Grey Kids, and at the start of the story, Harry thinks that they are just a myth. And the second one being that he wants to protect the prodigies and the experiments as much as he can. Because since he has a high status, blue ranking and all, he can sort of use his power and his influence to help the other prodigies and experiments. Only a bit, but that's what he can do and that's what he will do. Again, he's a really kind person, and he doesn't have any other idea of what he could do. However, when Chapter 2 arrives, the lab puts a really bad plan into action. A plan of grabbing powerful artifacts to take over the world and turn the planet into their ideal perfection. Which, as you can imagine, is not good. At this point, Harry knows that if he doesn't stop the plans himself, no one will, cause no one outside the lab knows what they are planning. So he decides to escape, and then he meets the rest of his team, and that's how he managed to be safe from the lab because he has other 5 powerful teams helping him out. Now, speaking a bit of Harry's design, it was a really tough task to do. The main reason is that, differently from the rest of the squad members, that I had a clean slate to create because they are 100% from my mind. Harry is connected to characters that already exist, and well, technically speaking, he is the spitting image of one. So I couldn't innovate as much with him as the others. But still, I'm really satisfied with what I managed to achieve. I really like his design, I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Something I wanted to do with Harry was that I wanted to give him a Wayne style to it so that he could fit with the rest of his family, but also trying to make him different from the others, and I guess I managed to do that. The outfit was a little bit complex because I didn't know exactly which style Harry would have, but I think that it fits him. Speaking a bit of Harry's personality, Harry is a really shy person, as you guys can probably expect since he's the genius of the group. Harry had always some self-esteem issues since he was a kid, which is kind of to be expected considering his father and siblings are always saving the day. But the lab and all of the people that betray him only made it worse. He has a hard time talking to the rest of the group about his past, and especially about his family and why he joined the lab. He even uses his previous codename in the lab, aka Indigo, as his surname to avoid people finding out who he actually is. Harry is terrified of the Justice League finding out he escaped, because he believes that he would be put in Arkham if they found out he's now out in the open. And since the lab has a lot of beef with many villains, if Harry ends up in Arkham, well, he's dead. The squad knows partially about that, and that's why they don't try to contact the League. Once the other members find out about Harry's past, though, and how much he's hiding and all of his secrets, they won't be happy, that's for sure. Harry's outfits usually cover as much as possible, showing how he wants to hide himself from the rest of the world. That eventually changes on season 2, but there's a long time before that. Another fun fact about Harry is that since I gave each Hope Squad member a hobby besides their role as heroes, I decided to give Harry a hobby of his own too. The ones I chose for him are to write and to draw, since these are things that I like, and that I wanted at least one of the squad members to have. And all of the others already have special hobbies that fit into their personality and arcs, so I couldn't fit it into them. As for his hero outfit, it's basically a Green Light Lab uniform, but with a few changes, like the gear that is his hero symbol, the H's from Hope on his pants, and the fact that he uses his lab coat unbuttoned, while the Saints kept unbuttoned. Since a lot of Harry's arc is about learning how to move on from the lab, the hero suit being similar to his previous uniform is to show that a part of him is still tied to the lab, and he is haunted by this feeling. On season 2 though, he gets a completely new hero suit. The hero name is Gadget, which might be a little bit direct, but I thought it would be fun. Besides, it's a reference to Inspector Gadget. The helmet ended up being something hard to decide. At first, I wanted to give Harry a helmet that looked just like Jasper's from Steven Universe. But then I changed my mind and gave him something that looked like a regular motorcycle helmet. Only that it's made of metal and has this circuit thing. A fun fact about these blue things on Harry's armor is that they can light up dark places when Harry wants them to. The pajamas generally have no trick to them. I inspired myself from those of Wayne Family Adventures because I thought they matched what Harry would like to use. But fun fact, in Universe their pajamas used to belong to Zack, but he hated it because it was too warm, and Zack, unlike Harry, likes to cover himself the least possible during his sleep. And who is Zack, you might be wondering? He's the next member of the Hope Squad I talk about. But basically, for now, let's just say he's a brother figure to Harry and his right-hand man. Now, going to the last outfit of the 4, the underwater outfit is for an underwater mission. It's basically what Harry is using under his suit, the metal armor that we only see part of, with the helmet changing to allow him to breathe underwater. This outfit in specific won't be seen much, but it does appear in a very important chapter, so it was important for me to design it. And these are the final results. Honestly, I had a lot of fun drawing this. Also, just want to state that there's a lot about Harry that I didn't explain here, because I don't want to spoil the comic to you all. Not sure if next time it's gonna be a Hope Squad video. Big chances that it's not, but if it is, you will soon be meeting Zach Miller, aka the Demigod, aka Thunderboy, aka next Hope Squad member. See you next time!